Change doesn't require a lifetime, just a week of focused action. The habits you form today will shape the life you live tomorrow. The life you've dreamed of starts with the habits you create today. Change begins with 1 week of dedication. I want to talk to you about something that can completely change your life in just 1 week. These are the habits that made the biggest difference for me, habits that, when I started practicing, shifted my mindset, my focus, and ultimately my success. Over the years, I've discovered that small daily actions can lead to incredible transformations. But it doesn't have to take years to see results. In fact, I started seeing positive changes in just 1 week by adopting 5 simple habits. And let me tell you, these habits aren't complicated. They're easy to do and, more importantly, easy to stick with. So if you've been feeling stuck, like you're not getting the results you want, or if you simply want to improve the way you approach life, this video is for you. Stick with me because in the next few minutes, I'm going to share these powerful habits that can shift your mindset, boost your productivity, and help you start living a life of purpose and success. Trust me, if you commit to these habits for just 1 week, you'll start seeing changes. Let's dive into the first one. Number 1, start your day with purpose. Let's talk about something that can truly change your life the way you start your day. Most people wake up, roll over, grab their phones, and let the world decide how they feel. But if you want to live a life of purpose, you can't let your mornings slip away like that. You have to take charge of them. Now, let me share what I've learned. The first moments of your day are golden. They set the tone for everything that follows. If you start rushed, unfocused, or distracted, your whole day will feel like you're playing catch up. But if you start with intention, clarity, and energy, you'll find yourself ahead, making progress on what truly matters. Here's how you do it. The first thing I do every morning is wake up with gratitude. Before I even get out of bed, I take a moment to remind myself of what I'm thankful for. It could be something as simple as the fact that I have another day to work on my goals, or the people in my life who bring me joy. Gratitude shifts your mindset. It takes your focus off what's missing and puts it on what's abundant. And let me tell you, when you start your day feeling grateful, it changes everything. Once I'm out of bed, I take care of my body. I drink a glass of water because your body has been resting all night. It needs hydration to wake up. Then I stretch or move around a bit. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's about waking up your system and feeling alive. The key is to connect with your energy, to remind yourself that today is a day full of opportunity. From there, I take a few minutes to reflect. What are my goals for the day? Not a long list of tasks, just the top 3 things I want to accomplish. Clarity is power. When you know what you're aiming for, you'll make better decisions. You won't waste time on distractions because you're focused on what matters. But here's the catch, you can't just think about it, you have to write it down. There's something about putting pen to paper that makes your intentions real. I always keep a notebook nearby where I jot down my priorities for the day. It's not just a to-do list, it's a guide for how I want to show up in the world. Now, let me tell you why this works. The world is full of distractions. From the moment you wake up, there are 100 things vying for your attention. Emails, notifications, other people's demands, they can pull you in every direction if you let them. But when you start your day with purpose, you create a kind of shield. You've already decided what's important, so you're less likely to get swept away by what's not. And let's talk about consistency. One good morning won't change your life, but a series of good mornings will. Think about it. If you started every day with gratitude, movement, reflection, and clear intentions, where could you be in a week? A month? A year? The compound effect of small, purposeful actions is extraordinary. You don't have to wait for a new week or a new month to begin. Start tomorrow. When you wake up, pause for a moment before you grab your phone or jump into the noise of the world. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish today? How do I want to feel? Take control of those first moments because they belong to you. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, start with purpose. Be intentional. Be clear. Treat those first minutes like the foundation of a building. Make them strong, solid, and aligned with who you want to be. And when you do this, something amazing happens. You start to feel more in control of your life. You begin to notice opportunities you might have missed before. You feel a sense of accomplishment even before the day is over. That's the power of starting your day with purpose. Your mornings set the tone for your life. Make them count. Start tomorrow and watch how quickly things begin to shift. One purposeful morning at a time, you'll create a life you're proud of. Number 2. Mr. The Art of Focus asked. It's one of the most powerful tools you have, yet so few people truly master it. I want you to think about this. How often do you sit down to work on something important, only to get pulled away by a notification, a random thought, or some unplanned distraction? It happens to all of us. But here's the truth: if you want to achieve something great, you have to master the art of focus. Focus isn't just about getting rid of distractions, it's about knowing exactly what deserves your attention. When I started applying this habit, I realized I was wasting so much energy on things that didn't matter. I was busy but not productive. And let me tell you, there's a huge difference. Being productive means working on what moves you closer to your goals, not just filling up your time with tasks. The first step in mastering focus is getting clear on what matters most. What's the one thing you need to accomplish today to make real progress? Write it down. Don't keep it in your head, put it on paper or on a list where you can see it. When you know your priority, it becomes easier to say no to distractions. Now, let's address the distractions. We live in a world that's constantly pulling us in 100 directions. Notifications, emails, social media, they all compete for your attention. But here's the trick: your focus is yours to control. One habit that changed my life was setting specific times for these distractions. Instead of checking my phone every 5 minutes, I'd schedule a time to respond to messages or check updates. The rest of the time, I'd stay locked in on what mattered most. Another key to mastering focus is learning how to work in blocks of time. I call it single tasking. When I sit down to do something, I give it my full attention for a set period, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. During that time, nothing else exists. No emails, no interruptions, no multitasking, just me and the task at hand. You'd be amazed at how much you can accomplish when you give something your undivided attention. And let's talk about the environment. Your surroundings play a big role in your ability to focus. If your workspace is cluttered, your mind will be too. Take a few minutes to organize your space before you start working. Make it a place that helps you concentrate, not one that distracts you. Now, focus isn't just about work, it's about life too. When you're with your family, be with them fully. Put away your phone. Listen to what they're saying. When you're enjoying a meal, savor it. Don't let your mind wander to your to-do list. Being present is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and the people around you. But here's the most important part: focus is a skill. And like any skill, it gets stronger with practice. You won't master it overnight, but every day you commit to it, you'll get better. Start small. Pick one thing to focus on each day and stick with it. Over time, you'll notice a change. Your mind will feel sharper, your work will be more meaningful, and your relationships will grow deeper. Mastering the art of focus changed my life because it taught me how to value my time. Time is the one thing we can't get back, so why waste it on things that don't matter? When you focus on what's truly important, you'll find that you not only achieve more, but you enjoy life more too. So here's my challenge for you: take control of your focus. Decide today what matters most. Eliminate the distractions and give your full attention to what counts. Start small, but start now. Because every moment you spend focused on your goals is a step closer to living the life you dream of. And isn't that what we're all striving for? A life of purpose, progress, and fulfillment. You have the power to make it happen one focused moment at a time. Number 3, learn every single day. The habit of learning every single day. Life gets better when you get better, and the only way to get better is to keep learning. It's not just about going to school or reading a book, it's about developing a mindset that seeks knowledge and improvement in everything you do. When I decided to make learning a daily habit, everything shifted for me. I stopped waiting for opportunities to come to me and started preparing myself to create them. The world doesn't reward effort alone, it rewards skills, knowledge, and the ability to solve problems. And here's the truth: the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you can contribute. Now, let's break this down into something simple and practical. Every day, I set aside time to learn. It doesn't have to be hours, it could be 20 minutes with a good book or an insightful podcast. The key is consistency. Imagine if you learned one new idea every day. In a week, you'd have 7 ideas. In a month, 30. In a year, over 300. And any one of those could be the spark that transforms your life. I want to challenge you to think of learning as an investment. Every page you read, every lesson you absorb is like depositing knowledge into your personal bank of skills over time. Those deposits grow, and you'll find yourself with a wealth of wisdom to draw from when you need it most. And let me tell you something else: learning isn't just about acquiring information. It's about applying what you learn. Knowledge without action is like having a map but never going on the journey. When you learn something new, ask yourself, how can I use this today? Put it into practice, even in small ways. That's how you turn learning into growth. Another thing that changed my life was learning from others. Everyone has something to teach you if you're willing to listen. Whether it's a mentor, a colleague, or even a stranger, be curious about their experiences and perspectives. Sometimes the best lessons come from the most unexpected places. Now let's talk about mindset. Some people stop learning because they think they know enough. That's a dangerous place to be. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. Stay humble. Stay curious. Understand that no matter how much you know, there's always more to learn. I also want to touch on the importance of reflection. At the end of each day, I take a few minutes to think about what I learned. Did I discover a new strategy? Did I see a new perspective? Did I learn from a mistake? Reflection solidifies your learning and helps you understand how to move forward. Learning every day doesn't just make you smarter, it makes you more confident. When you know you're growing, you feel ready to face challenges. You start to believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way because you've prepared yourself. That confidence is priceless. So here's my advice to you: make learning a priority. Set aside time each day, even if it's just a few minutes. Read, listen, watch, ask questions, reflect, and most importantly, apply what you learn. Do this and you'll find that life becomes an exciting journey of discovery and progress. Remember, the person you become tomorrow is shaped by what you learn today. Make every day count. Keep growing, keep improving, and watch how your life transforms. Number 4, take action, not just plan. Let's talk about something that makes all the difference between success and staying stuck: taking action. Planning is important, no doubt about it. Having a vision, setting goals, and organizing your steps are all part of the process. But here's the thing: a perfect plan is useless without action. Too many people spend their time planning, thinking, and analyzing, but never actually doing. I'll tell you, this action is what turns dreams into reality. I remember the first time I realized this truth. I had big dreams, detailed plans, and a vision board full of ideas. But nothing changed in my life until I started taking steps, small, imperfect steps, every single day. The moment I moved from planning to doing, progress happened. You see, it's not about having the perfect conditions or waiting for the right time. It's about starting with what you have and where you are. Let's get practical. How do you move from planning to action? The first step is to break your plan into small, manageable tasks. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but when you break them down, they become achievable. For example, if your goal is to start a business, don't focus on building an empire overnight. Start by researching your market, reaching out to a mentor, or drafting your first idea. Action doesn't have to be grand, it just has to move you forward. Here's another important point: don't wait for everything to be perfect. Perfectionism is a trap. It keeps you stuck in the planning phase, telling yourself you're not ready yet. But let me tell you this: you'll never feel completely ready. Start anyway. Take that first step, even if it's small, even if it's messy. Progress beats perfection every time. And don't underestimate the power of momentum. When you take action, no matter how small, you build momentum. That momentum makes the next step easier, and the one after that even easier. It's like climbing a staircase, one step at a time, and before you know it, you're halfway up. The key is to keep moving. Now let's address fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These are the things that stop most people from taking action. But here's what I've learned: fear doesn't go away by avoiding it. It goes away by facing it. Every time you take action despite your fear, you get a little braver, a little stronger. And over time, those fears lose their power over you. Another thing to remember is that action brings clarity. Sometimes we overthink because we don't know what will work, but you can't figure it all out by thinking alone. Action gives you feedback. It shows you what's working and what's not. You adjust, you learn, and you grow. That's how progress happens, not through endless planning, but through trying, learning, and trying again. And let's not forget about consistency. Taking action isn't a one-time thing, it's a daily habit. Even if it's just one small step a day, it adds up. Think about it: one small step a day for a week is 7 steps closer to your goal. In a month, it's 30 steps. In a year, it's 365. That's the power of consistent action. But here's the most important part: action creates confidence. Every time you take a step, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You start to believe in your ability to achieve your goals. That belief is priceless. It's what keeps you going even when the path gets tough. So here's my challenge to you: stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Pick one thing you've been planning or dreaming about and take action today. Even if it's just a small step, take it. Because every big achievement starts with a single step. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't in their plans, it's in their actions. Be the person who acts. Be the person who moves forward. That's how you change your life. Not someday, not when the time is right, but now. Number 5, end the day reflecting. How do you end your day? Do you just collapse into bed, exhausted from the day's activities, and drift off to sleep? Or do you take a moment to reflect on what you've done, what you've learned, and how you can improve for tomorrow? If you want to change your life, if you want to move forward, it's essential to end each day with reflection. When I started this habit, I began to realize something powerful: how you end your day is just as important as how you start it. The last thoughts you have before going to bed stay with you. They influence your mindset, your attitude, and your energy for the next day. That's why it's so important to take a few moments at the end of each day to reflect, to look back at what you've accomplished, and to ask yourself the tough questions: what went well today? What didn't? What can I learn from today? I remember the first time I did this. Instead of going to bed feeling like I hadn't done enough, I started taking 5 minutes to think about the progress I made. I reflected on the actions I took, the mistakes I made, and how I could improve. This wasn't about self-criticism, it was about growth. It was about recognizing what worked and what didn't, and deciding how I could show up better tomorrow. This simple habit of reflection helped me gain clarity about my goals and my actions. Another powerful aspect of reflecting at the end of the day is gratitude. You can spend your whole day chasing after more, striving for bigger goals, and constantly pushing forward. But if you don't take a moment to be grateful for the small wins, the lessons learned, and the blessings you have, you'll miss out on the joy that comes from the journey. Reflecting helps you appreciate your progress. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, no matter how small the wins may seem. And let me tell you, that sense of gratitude and appreciation can change your perspective on life. It shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, Jim, I'm just too busy. I don't have time to reflect, but here's the thing you can't afford not to reflect. Reflection is the time you take to learn from your day. It's the time that allows you to improve, so you don't repeat the same mistakes over and over. It's the time that helps you fine-tune your approach and make sure you're moving in the right direction. You don't have to spend hours doing it. Even 5 minutes at the end of the day can make a huge difference. The key is to ask yourself the right questions. What did I learn today? What could I have done better? What am I grateful for? And most importantly, what is the one thing I can do tomorrow to move closer to my goal? These questions give you clarity and direction. They help you stay on track and ensure that you're always moving forward. Another important part of reflection is letting go of the day's stress. At the end of the day, you have to leave the worries, the disappointments, and the frustrations behind. Don't carry them into your night. Instead, use that time to unwind and reset. You want to go to sleep with peace in your heart, knowing that you gave your best, that you learned from your experiences, and that tomorrow is a fresh start. When you develop the habit of reflection, it does something powerful. It shifts you from being a passive observer of your life to an active participant. It allows you to take control of your growth and development. You stop reacting to life, and you start shaping your life with intention. You don't wait for things to happen, you make them happen. But here's the truth, reflection isn't always easy. It requires honesty. It requires you to face your mistakes and learn from them. It requires you to be humble enough to acknowledge where you can improve. But let me tell you, that's where the growth happens. That's where the magic happens. So here's my challenge to you: start reflecting at the end of each day. Take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, to ask yourself those key questions. What went well today? What could I have done better? What am I grateful for? And what's the one thing I can do tomorrow to be better than today? Do this every night for a week and see how it changes your mindset, your motivation, and your progress. The way you end your day matters. It sets the stage for tomorrow. If you want to move forward, if you want to grow, if you want to live a life that's full of purpose and progress, start the habit of reflection. Because when you improve, you change your life.